Hi everyone, this is Heather from the Flourish Academy. This is our weekly Q&A, but first, a few quick announcements. We scheduled a camera club for next month, so if you are in the area, you're definitely going to want to join us. We are doing a maternity session field trip on location. Susie is our model. It's going to be so fun. I posted the details already in the event in the Flourish Academy camera club page, so if you need to get there, I will post a link below here in a little bit. Also, I wanted to show you, I ordered an album. You can see it's glossy cover from a company called Mixbooks, and I had not ordered from them before. In fact, I never even heard of them, but my friend Leslie told me about them, and I love to try new album companies. Now this is just a consumer lab, but I thought, oh, what the heck? So I'm going to do a review via video on some labs and compare some books maybe in the next couple of days or so, but it's press printed. And the quality I thought was really quite good. This was just from our recent trip to Texas to visit family, and I thought the quality and the color all looked really good. I got them very quickly. It was inexpensive. Again, these are magazine style pages, so they're fairly thin. It is not a lay flat, so it goes like that. But I'll compare this to some of my Miller's and White House Custom Color press printed books, which are different from albums, in a future video. But I just wanted to let you know to check out Mixbooks. I like them. I thought it turned out very nice. Okay, starting off with a question from Alicia. She says, now that I have my big girl camera, I only have one FX lens, that's for full frame. What is a good, lightweight, everyday lens that won't break the bank completely? So before I read on, of course, the first thing I think of is the 50mm 1.8. That, in terms of bang for your buck, there is no lens better than that one. But then she goes on to say, I have a list of lenses I want, but prioritizing them is hard. That is true. My one and only FX is the Nikon 50mm 1.8. I know I can use my DX lenses, but is there really a point in using a crop sensor lens on a full frame camera? I mean, if you need a lens and it works, then use the lens. This is a really hard question to answer, so I created a video and a downloadable checklist in order to help you determine what lens you need, because it really depends on your requirements. What do you like to shoot, and what are the challenges that you face with that type of shooting? So I have that all detailed in a blog post. I will post the link for that below, but hopefully that will help you. I know that doesn't answer your question, and I'm sorry, but it's really difficult to say without knowing what your challenges are. For instance, if we're talking lightweight, affordable, you know, in a normal focal length, meaning, a standard focal length, not, not a zoom lens that, not a 70 to 200 is what I'm saying, like a 24 to 70 or something along that focal length range, then we're going to look at variable aperture lenses. And I don't know if low light matters to you. If you photograph in low light, then having a variable aperture lens is not going to be that great. You probably need a fixed aperture lens. But then two things happen. Number one, they get really expensive. And number two, they're heavy. So not affordable, not lightweight, but they're nice lenses. So again, I would have to know what your requirements are and what you're photographing in order to make a better recommendation. But I always start with the 51.8 because it's a great lens and it's super inexpensive. So I'll post the link for the lens post, and hopefully that helps. And I'm sorry I could not provide you with more information without knowing your needs. My friend Katie says, does anyone edit on their laptop with a bigger screen, or should I just make the plunge into an iMac? Currently I have a MacBook Pro, and my friend Kim said she does that. She loves having a laptop so that she can be portable when needed, but connect to a larger screen and wireless keyboard at her desk. So I would say that is a good option for someone who has a laptop but is not ready to take the leap into a desktop, whether that be PC or Mac. So I think that works well. Years ago, oh my goodness, I mean like 14 or 15 years ago, when I worked for corporate, I always had a laptop with a docking station and a bigger monitor, and I liked that. I thought it worked well. Currently now, I have an iMac. I have a MacBook Pro. I've not edited on it. However, I did record a video the other day, a couple of days ago, with my friend Hannah over on the Flourish.Academy page. She edits exclusively with her laptop, and she does very well. Her prints look good, her colors are fine. So I used to think, oh, I don't know if you should be editing on a laptop because I'm not sure how well you can calibrate them. But she actually didn't need to calibrate her laptop, and everything looks fine, so she's not gonna mess with it. But I think if it comes down to calibrating your laptop, it can get a little tricky. That being said, I don't go down that route, so I don't have any real experience in that regard. But if it's working for you and the prints look good, then my thought, I mean, I always say this, who cares? If it works, who cares? Okay, the next question, Brittany says, I was wondering when your cutoff date is for payment of a session. I know there are many on here that require retainers when booking, but if it's a mini session, should I say, quote, if you don't pay by, a certain date, your session is canceled? I have a mini session booked for this weekend, and she told me 3 days ago she'd send payment, but I am still waiting. So a couple people commented on this, but I really like and agree with my friend Barb's approach. She says mini sessions would be due at booking, period. Otherwise, the spot can go to someone else. There are no holds. Not ever. I agree with that. She says she even does her regular sessions due at booking. And then Brittany asked, yeah, I should have done that, but what do I say if someone doesn't pay? And Barb says, I would probably say, hello, I wanted to touch base with you and see if you were still interested in the mini session we discussed. I will need payment to secure your spot. Otherwise, it may go to someone else. And I love that wording. In order to secure your spot, payment is due, period. And if you don't pay, then you're going to lose your time, your date, your slot. That's it. That's all there is to it. Get payment ahead of time for everything. Everything should be paid ahead of time. If you expect people to pay you the day of, you are asking for trouble. They're going to forget their checkbook or their wallet. I don't think intentionally. I think they may legitimately forget it. And then you have to chase after them for money, and it just causes a hassle. So I would not recommend that. Hey, while I'm answering these questions, if you have any more, you can comment so that I can see them. Desiree asks, Heather, do you or any of your colleagues offer website critiquing as a service? Just wondering, I feel like you've mentioned this in the past, and yes, I do this all the time. I've done several in the past few months. I'll post the link below, but I have a place in the Flourish Academy website, and it says work with me, and you can schedule a phone or Skype portfolio and or website review. 30-minute session is only $40. If you want to do an hour, it's $80. And I get on the phone with you or on Skype where we can look at it together, and I give you ideas or suggestions and help you create a better portfolio, a better website, depending on what your needs are. So absolutely, it's one of my favorite things to do. And there may be some really minor little tweaks that you don't notice because you're so in it, it can make all the difference. So yeah, I'd love to hear from you. Kim says, I am running into trouble when I try to launch ROES from WHCC, that's White House Custom Color. I just got a new desktop system today, and of course, Miller's downloads and runs fine. Can't for the life of me get it to launch from White House. Anyone have any advice before I call? I've tried everything. And yes, so lately I had this issue. I talked about it in a video on the page. But the latest update of the Mac OS, which is Sierra, does not play nicely with many of the ROES systems. Sometimes it's as simple as just uninstalling your ROES and then dropping it on the applications folder and launching it again, and it will work. That was not the case for me. That did not work. None of mine were launching or working. I contacted White House via their little chat when you're on their website, by the way. I have been with them for nearly 14 years. Their customer service and the way they handle problems or issues is just outstanding. I love them. So the person that I was chatting with online, she replied immediately and she said, oh yes, this is a known problem. She had me delete and remove a few hidden files. And this wasn't difficult, but it wasn't so obvious as to where they were. I had to go searching for a particular folder that it was hidden, so I couldn't have found it other than actually typing in the path in order to locate it, and the path was like this long, so I don't remember it off the top of my head. But it looks like Kim got her issues resolved because she talked to them as well. So when in doubt, I don't know why we hesitate to do this, but when in doubt and you're struggling with something, you could pick up the phone or send an email to customer service or support. I am contacting customer service and support, I feel like, on a daily basis, but at least weekly. What was I working in a couple of weeks ago? Lead pages. I was in lead pages, had an issue. I mean, I immediately submit a support ticket. Why not? They're usually happy to help you, and I will, of course, try the Google first, but if the Google doesn't give me the answer, then I go straight to the source, customer support. That's why they're there. But we hesitate to do that. And a lot of these services have these online chats, so you can contact them right there and they can help you. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Leanne had posted. This was a few days ago. We had a really severe line of storms roll through our area earlier this week that produced tornadoes and such. It was really bad, and she had posted, hey, make sure you shut down and unplug your machines. And I had mentioned this before, but you should absolutely have some type of, not just surge protector. That is not enough. A surge protector will certainly stop a surge, but if your power flickers, it would still turn your computer off, and I never want that hard shutdown. So I have a UPS under my desk, uninterruptible power supply. Woo, doesn't that sound fancy? You plug it in, it's big, it's heavy, it's a big battery, and when the power goes out, my machine does not turn off, but it stays on, and I have my UPS set up such that if the power goes off, the machine recognizes that it's no longer on the main power source, and after, I think I have it set to 5 minutes, it will shut down safely on its own. Now the reason I set it to 5 minutes is because occasionally the power will just flicker. So I don't want it to shut, and that's actually what happened to me on Monday. The power flickered several times and my UPS picked up the power, but I never had to shut down my machine because it would come right back on. They range in price in terms of how much you want to spend, but if you work a lot on your machine, then I would recommend having one. If you have a job or you're not home and you know that the weather does not look good, I would highly recommend shutting down your machine and unplugging it. I do know people who have lost their machines due to electrical storms and or surges, even on a surge protector. Now we have the added benefit here, because my dad is crazy, of a backup generator, and my dad used to be an electrician, and so he has this switch on our entire home, and when we lose power, the backup generator after a few seconds will automatically kick on and power certain circuits in our home. Isn't that amazing? So that happens, I don't even have to shut down, I can keep working. Now you can't use the oven and do things like that because it only protects certain circuits, but I don't have to worry about that kind of thing. So make sure you pay attention lest you fry your machine. Oh, and by the way, if you do fry your machine, I am very hopeful that you have insurance to cover it. Now, if you're concerned about the insurance part and you're not a business, you don't have business insurance, you can get a personal articles policy on things like your camera equipment or maybe your machines, but I would highly recommend that you talk to your insurance agent and pose that very specific question. I would say, hey, what if this happens? What if we get a storm? What if I lose my machine? Am I covered? And what is my deductible for that? So that you know what you're up against. Okay, I am going to scroll here. If you have anything else, please post in the comments below. Although I'm not seeing any comments, so I'm thinking that I'm going to load them here on my iPad. Let's see if I see anything. Oh no, I cannot even see them here. Okay, I think we're all set for this week. Have a great weekend. I'll talk to you soon.